The doctor in front of your name.
And there is a sense that those that are in the majority really don't have a sense of just how much anxiety we have going into an interview or walking into a boardroom where nobody looks like us and we know we're going to be scrutinized. And I think that internal work of us looking at, why am I code switching? Why am I afraid to go in an interview with my afro? Why do I think that, if someone's talking over me, instead of me saying, hey, can you let me finish? It's better for me just to be quiet or just laugh it off like it's not a big deal. It is a big deal and it shouldn't happen. And I'm very big on, maybe because of also my education background, there's a sense that if you let people get away with bad behavior and don't correct it, it's just like in the classroom. If a student's disruptive and I just let them get away with it, that student is like, oh, okay, open season. And I think that's what Black women have been trained to do. Like, come on, this is the Black tax. No one cares about your tears. No one cares about, and it's not our parents' fault or our teachers' fault or our mentors' fault. Coaches, they did what they thought was needed for us to be able to survive in these predominantly white spaces. But some of the things that we're doing, carrying that burden, not speaking up, not correcting unprofessional behavior, it really is to our detriment. And my thought process is, if anything, if someone made a comment about like my boobs on a call, I would be like, unprofessional. But yet someone can go on, I can go onto a call, and if I have my afro out, it's like, oh my God, your afro. And it's like, that is super unprofessional. That I don't want to be the center of attention for the first 5 minutes of the meeting. It's an icebreaker. And I'm going to correct that. And I'm going to like either do a blank stare or, oh yeah, and let that person feel uncomfortable. Because if you're going to make me uncomfortable and make me like the centerpiece of your little, whatever, your icebreaker or whatever people do when they do weird stuff like that, then I feel as though now it's my opportunity as a teachable moment to be like, well, this is just my regular hair that I actually have every day. So welcome to it, or something that lets them know that I don't appreciate what they're doing. And then typically what I will say after a meeting is I'll say to my boss, hey, such and such keeps interrupting me. Can you like make sure that my contributions are heard, because I feel as though people are interrupting me when I'm trying to get my point out. I've said that up until like the past like month or so, even on the job. So I'm big on educating people. I've even told my boss what a microaggression is and what I don't accept and what I do accept, because it's gotten to the point now where she will interrupt if someone is doing something. I just stop talking and she's like, wait a second, Liz is talking, let her finish, and then you can interject. Because and then we'll get off the call and she'll be like, see, did you see? I checked them right away. Like, we'll have our little one-on-one. She's like, did you see how I checked them? And I'm like, thank you for that. Because it's like, it gets to the point where people need to be held accountable. Yeah. And I think what has happened with us as Black women is we do fall into that trope of the strong Black woman. And, we got to just take one for the team. We got to make sure we push forward, work twice as hard, all these things. Even Dick Gregory said that, and everyone knows him as a comedian, but he was also a civil rights activist. And he said, don't teach your kids to work twice as hard. Why should we have to work twice as hard? We work for free enough. Our legacy is building a country. And I think a lot of times it's like, well, stop bringing that up. We don't want to hear it. It wasn't that long ago. It wasn't dinosaur days that this happened. So, and everything that we've seen in the past 2 years has shown us that we're still living with the repercussions of that. I was on a call yesterday and I talked about this idea that sometimes people say, well, I wasn't alive. I didn't have slaves. And my retort is I wasn't alive either. Like, I'm not going to just pretend that everything is fine. I should just be happy to have a seat at the table. But when I get a seat at the table, you're talking over me, interrupting me, making me repeat my points, asking silly questions to derail me. In the classroom, I wouldn't accept that from a 19-year-old student. So why am I going to accept that from a middle-aged Brad that has a master's degree? Like, I'm not doing it. It's like, it's just that I think for me, it just got to a point where during COVID, especially, I was just tired. And I'm just like, you know what? I got to put this down on paper and let people see that it in theory, I think a lot of times people say I could never do that. If I do that, I'll have a target on my back.
The doctor in front of your name.